Imagine that you're standing right in front of God and you're giving him excuses that you are unqualified, that you're too broken, that you're not good enough to do what he has called you to do. Well, this is exactly what Moses did. I was reading Exodus 4 today and I noticed that God had asked Moses to go free the Israelites from Egypt. And instead of saying, yes, God, I'm gonna do this, he actually panics. He starts to ask God, what if they don't believe me? And then God starts to give him sign after sign. The first time he asked him, what do you have in your hand? And he actually had a rod or a staff. He throws it into the ground and turns it into a snake. He's proven that he's gonna be with him, and still Moses tells him, I am actually slow to speak, I have a speech impediment. And then God tells him, who makes the mouth? And who makes people deaf or mute, if not I, the Lord? I noticed that Moses kept focusing on his weaknesses when God kept focusing on his own strength. And I noticed that sometimes in our lives, we tend to do the same thing. We give God excuses of why we cannot do what he has called us to do. We focus on whatever is wrong with us instead of focusing on the one who's calling us to do it. At the end of the conversation, Moses continues to doubt and God ends up sending Aaron to help him. But after Moses stepped into his calling, he became one of the greatest leaders in history. God isn't asking for our perfection, he's asking for our obedience. But what about you? What do you have in your hand? Because whatever you have in your hand, no matter how small it is, God will want to use it. He doesn't need you to be ready, he just wants you to trust him.